Afternoon, everybody. I'm Chief Eric Gandy of the Clearwater Police Department. That's ERICGANDY. I wanted to speak to all of you this afternoon because of an incident we had last night that generated a significant police response and also involved the Tampa Bomb Squad. So I thought it'd be important to put some perspective on what this was and add some clarity here. So about 4 a.m. At 700 Bayway, a suspect in a vehicle opened fire on our beach substation. The officers inside heard the gunfire and went outside to try and locate the source. As they did so, they saw a suspect vehicle leaving the scene, and about 2 minutes later, we got a 911 call, and it was a suspect taking responsibility for shooting at our building and police cars. Tampa Bomb Squad ended up having to come to the scene because of some evidence at the scene and some unique circumstances out there. They swept the vehicle and did not find any indications of explosive materials. The suspect is 25-year-old Gamaliel Reyes. He's got ties to Lakeland and Zephyr Hills, and most recently, very recently, has spent some time in Clearwater. The charges from this incident are the following: shooting into a building, shooting into an unoccupied vehicle, discharging a firearm from a vehicle within 1,000 feet of a person, use of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and felony criminal mischief. The motive in this thing is unknown. Despite having called 911, he's not talking to us anymore. So we've really got no idea what motivated him. So detectives are interviewing family members and looking into all aspects of his background to try and ascertain what compelled him to do this. I think it's important that we identify that piece simply because we don't know if there was some outside influence. We don't know if there was another person involved. We're just unsure as to why or what compelled him to shoot up our substation and vehicles. Regardless of motive, and thankfully, we didn't have any officers sitting in that vehicle at that moment. Quite frequently, they'll pull into the substation parking lot and sit and work on their computer before they go upstairs, and fortunately, that officer had already gone upstairs. So in this instance, no one was injured, and we're thankful for that, but the outcome certainly could have been much different. And that's why motive is important in these things, and see if there was something that inspired him. Did he come across something online? And with the state of affairs in this country right now, God knows what that could have been. So we're going to keep looking into those pieces of it. Like I said, the detectives are really trying to work through all of those, but I wanted to provide a little clarity and some closure on a significant response we had last night. Despite the fact that Mr. Reyes has only been here for a few days, I want to provide our tip number in the event anyone's had contact with him. It's 727-562-4242. I'll be glad to answer a couple questions. I don't really want to get in the weeds on this thing simply because there's a lot we don't know yet because, again, we're working through the evidence at the scene. We have evidence that corroborates his 911 call and the shooting, but a lot remains to be discovered.
Chief, how many shots were fired, and just how thankful, reiterate, are you that no one was injured?
So all of the shots appeared to impact our substation or the vehicles. We didn't have any reports of any injuries surrounding, and we're still getting round counts based on the evidence.
Can you talk about if you know any background criminal history for this person from anywhere?
So we're working on some of that. Our threat management folks are looking into his background and history. It appears he may have spent some time in the Coast Guard, so we have to ascertain what that was like, what his time in the Coast Guard was like, what his discharge papers look like, all those types of things.
Chief, can you kind of just speak to how lucky you guys are to know that no one did get hurt? I mean, this was right here at your station.
Yeah, I mean, we've had it happen before. This one was a little different. It was definitely targeted and purposeful and accurate. So, and I think that tells the story. If that officer had been sitting in that car, we're having a different conversation today.
Have you ever had anyone call in to tell on themselves?
We have in the past. This one's a little unusual in that, what I find unusual about it is he calls in and accepts responsibility for the shooting, but then, then doesn't speak to us once we get him downtown. So I don't know what that's about.
Is there a mental health component here that you're looking into as well?
We have to look at all those. That's always a possibility.
You said targeted, purposeful, and accurate. Is that based upon what he said at the time, or how do you get to those definitions?
Oh, easily. He shot up a police station that's clearly marked as a police station, and his round was pretty accurate because it went in the driver's side window of one of my police cars.
What exactly did he say on the call that made you want to alert the bomb squad?
It wasn't on the call. It was some evidence and information we obtained at the scene. I can't go into it any further, but it was enough for us out of an abundance of caution to call TPD.
And just to be clear, did he exit his car to do the shooting and then took off in his car, or did he do it from his car?
We believe he did it from his car and left in the car until he called us several minutes later, a couple blocks away.
Did you receive his gun?
Pardon?
Are you able to, do you have his gun in custody?
Yeah, we have the weapon, and he surrendered peacefully, and, you know, there was no issue with the arrest. So, you know, is this attention-seeking behavior? We have no idea at this point.
There's a camera right on the front of the building there. Can you just talk about if the camera caught any of his actions that happened last night?
So we're reviewing any kind of video feeds we may have. We've engaged our real-time crime center. They're reviewing all that to see if we have any good depiction of the shooting itself.
But nothing from the police department's camera right on the front of the building?
No, not that I'm aware of.
What kind of gun was it? Was it a shotgun, a handgun?
A handgun. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.